we're tremendously excited to be here. Excited for the opportunity to get the invite to come to the Beach Club. We feel like we've had a really good year, very productive year. At Florida State, we plan on winning them all. We hope to be able to play off and have a chance to win the national championship. Didn't happen this year, but for what this team is and what we have accomplished, we're very excited. Got a great opportunity to play a really good Houston football team. Hopefully springboard into next year. We are young. We had one senior on offense and I think about 13, 14 seniors total on the whole team. So got a lot of these guys coming back. So hopefully we can take this opportunity, take advantage of our practices we've had here in December, which I think have been really good. Build on that, play well in the game, and use the experience to build for next year.
All right. Coach Dawson.
Just kind of, we don't want to keep it random, but it's definitely been a great week here being in Atlanta. You know, got a great fan base of Seminoles here in Atlanta, so that helps a lot. You know, when you go around, you see a lot of the Seminole fans here, and for us to be at this point, it's a great opportunity for us. And we got, like Randy said, we got a young team and have a chance to get out there and get extra practices in. Well, we're looking forward to it. And like Randy also said, you know, it's a great opportunity for us to play a great football team and for us to build connection.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Sean, I'll ask you, what's been your favorite bowl week event so far? Sort of off the practice field, more of the fun stuff. What have you enjoyed the most so far?
I'd say last night was pretty fun. Being around the team and seeing the guys play the sport. It was pretty cool seeing Brock and Francois and Darwin play basketball as they did. Kind of, they made some big shots at the end, and it was kind of nice to see the team go crazy and kind of fall out there. So that's probably my favorite so far.
Yeah, nobody rolled an ankle or anything.
No, that was what I was worried about too.
Okay. Make sure everybody's healthy. Dalvin, what about you? What's been your highlight of the week so far?
I just said lip sync because you get to see like everybody's character and see how funny they is. And other teams too, you see funny guys on the team. And we got funny guys on our team like Reggie. And you see Coach Big character at the sprint coach. So just seeing everybody's character and seeing how funny they is.
All right, good enough. All right, gentlemen, we're warmed up, we're ready to go. We'll go ahead and open it up to questions. If you would just raise your hand, we've got wireless microphones on each side of the room. Please announce your name and who you're representing and who your question is directed to. And we'll get the mic to you. All right, somebody's got to be first, guys. Let's go. All right here in the back, over here on the aisle.
Seminoles.com. Coach Dawsey, with Kermit Whitfield, when did you really see him step it up and really get developed? Was that an off-season thing with his route running, with understanding the offense more? When did it really start to click in for him?
Doing 2 days training camp. He missed a lot of the spring with a hamstring, so we weren't really sure how he was going to come back and respond. But during 2 days, he came in with a mindset of just working and competing and playing and practicing hard every day, and it paid off for him. He don't have a great good for us.
We're here, Doug.
Doug Roberts from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Coach Dawsey, can you talk about what makes Houston's defense so effective, and do they remind you of having similarities to the defenses that you've already faced this season?
They do a great job with their blitzing. They got the zone blitzes behind it, and they create chaos for the line up front, and I think that's a big part of their success, that they send guys in their drop linemen, all going back and forth with the different linebackers, safeties, so you never know who coming. They always stand up at the line of scrimmage, and then some will come, some will drop back. So they zone blitzes create a lot of problems with that. And I think that's why they had so much success, because they got a lot of interceptions. They got like 17 interceptions this year, so they definitely create chaos on the defensive side.
Do they remind you of any other defense you faced this season?
Through a course of 12 games, you play a lot of different schemes, and we've seen certain elements of what they do probably from different teams. I don't know that we've seen even one team that does exactly what they do along. From a base standpoint, they're probably more like Oregon last year than anyone else would play this year. But they do a lot more blitzing, things like that, than what Oregon did.
Right here.
Gene Williams, Warchant.com. Coach Sanders, to the guy to your left, since he's taken over as the starter, how has he progressed? Have you seen a change in him in terms of confidence and leadership?
Sure. As you go out and you have success on the game field, it gives you more confidence. And not only does it give, not only do I think he has gotten more confidence, I think everyone around him has got more confidence in him. I know, I believe that he can do it, but once you see it, it makes it much easier to know it. It's probably the same thing with Coach Dawsey, same thing with Dalvin. I would think everyone would say that. Sean handled the whole situation this year extremely well. You know, when we made a decision at the beginning of the year to go with Everett, you know, he didn't sit around and pout. He went out to practice and handled it in a very mature way. He went out to practice to get better that day and to be the best player he could for our football team. It wasn't necessarily the decision he wanted, but he tried to make it the best one, and he handled it the right way. And it's amazing how when you handle things correctly, and you have the right attitude, how good things happen to you in the end. And I think he's a great example of that.
Right here, Asher.
Asher Wild on WCTV. Sean, given so much talk is always about next year already, and we got the bowl game this week, but for you, how important is this bowl game for you, knowing what's at stake for you in your position next year?
I mean, yeah, it's big, but at the same time, you know, I'm looking to finish this season out the right way, especially for the senior class. A lot of the guys that I came in with, and even the guys that are older, a year older than me, that took me under my wing right away. So to get to 50 wins for them is something that is probably at the top of my list of how much I care about this game. And obviously going forward into next year with all the guys we have returning. But you know, I think sending the seniors out the right way is probably the best.
And let me say this. I said what I said earlier about using this game to build for next year, and that is part of it. But that is not the main reason we're here. You know, the main reason we're here is to try to get to 11 wins. You know, to get these seniors 50 wins over where you're here, which has never been done before. You know, and to represent Florida State as it needs to be represented. You know, it's got a tremendous tradition, and we want to win this game for this year. This is, you know, building for next year is a nice byproduct of it, but that's not the main objective.
Okay, Tom
D'Angelo from News Post. Brandon, when you talk about the way Sean handled that, what does that say to his teammates when now he is coming in? If he had not played, but now all of a sudden he's coming in as a starter after 8-9 games. So they've seen the professionalism. How do you think that's rubbed off, and how much did that mean to the last 3 or 4 games to the entire team?
Well, I think the way he handled it showed a lot of maturity. And, you know, I always try to tell quarterbacks from the time they arrive on camp, everything you do is sending a message. You know, it's not like other positions. As a quarterback, everything you do sends a message. And it may not come up until the 8th game of the year in overtime. You know, that somebody remembers, you know, I remember, you know, back during training camp, Sean was late for curfew one night, so I wonder how committed he really is. You know, but if you never miss curfew, then they know how committed you are. And I think the way Sean handled it sent a tremendous message and give the guys a lot of confidence, not only in him as a player, but him as a person and what he was all about and how in for the team he was.
Okay, right here in front row.
Dave Matthews, Squirrel. Sean, what has been the biggest emphasis for you to work on since the Florida game and to this point during the month off?
I think, like Coach Dawsey was talking about before, with all the different looks that he's given us, we haven't really seen a lot of their down blitzes we've seen. So I think just trying to really understand them as much as I possibly can. I've seen all their games and just really stayed up on the film as far as this game. Because that's really what I've definitely been focused on most.
Okay, we'll go over here, Ken.
Hey, Ken Sedero, the Ohio Constitution. Coach Sanders, Dalvin, correct me if I'm wrong here. He was saying the other day that he thought that the Georgia Tech loss going to turn the season around. It felt like practice picked up and that sort of thing. I'm curious if you saw similar things after that game, that maybe things got picked up a little bit.
Well, I think there was a sense of urgency that increased after that game. We've gone a long time without losing a regular season football game. And we had a number of guys on the team that had never lost a regular season game. Just the fact that it could happen, that it did happen, And it happened not because Georgia Tech didn't play well, but we didn't play our best. And as coaches, we preach them all the time. Usually you go out and play like you practice. And if you don't practice well on Monday, you don't practice well on Tuesday, you don't practice well on Wednesday, normally you don't play well on Saturday. So I do think a little bit of that sense of urgency as far as preparing to play did increase.
All right, let's try to get Dalvin involved here. Somebody's got.
You know, I didn't know he ran for almost 1,700 yards this year. I was looking at the stats going over. I was like, hey, no, that's a lot. Ran for a lot of yards. We need to get you the ball. Yeah.
All right, right here back.
That's good timing because my question is for Dalvin. Dalvin, from a player's perspective, did it impress you to see how Sean handled things while he was the backup? So when he did step in as a starter, he had your guys' full respect and attention?
Yeah, like Coach said, you know, everything was started at the beginning. So Sean stepped in, played a major role, but actually came off the bench that game, you know, went right in and, you know, he's making plays. So that's a guy you got to respect. And, you know, as a quarterback position, he our leader on the team, he lead the offense. So he's a guy you got to respect. And, you know, I respect him, we know that. And the whole offense, you know, we follow him. And, you know, he leads us the right way. So he came in making plays, and, you know, we love him for that, and we respect him.
Okay, all the way in the back.
Allison Posey, WTXL. Either coach and Sean, just with this offense being so young, how has this team really evolved and grown over this season? Don't fight it.
Well, I think when the season started, we knew as coaches that we would be a better team week 6 or 7 than we were week 1. And we expected to be a better team week 12 than we were week 6. And that's kind of a natural progression of the teams in general, but especially when you have young players. You know, it's been an unusual year a little bit that we've had so many different guys have to step up. I think we've played, you know, Dalvin's had his injuries. You know, John Quez had to step in and tell back. You know, obviously we've played 2 quarterbacks. We've played, I think, 3 centers. We've played 3 different right tackles. You know, different left guards. It's been a season where we've had to mix and match and play a lot of different people. So to get to where we're at, as young as we are, and with the injuries we've had, we're pleased. We're certainly not satisfied, but we're pleased. And obviously, our defense has played very well. Coach Kelly and that group has done a tremendous job. We do have a good kicker, although I don't talk about kickers very often. And our punters play very well. And Coach Fisher does a tremendous job of putting the team together. You know, it's not what the offense does, it's not what the defense does. It's what the whole team does together, how it all fits. And I think this team has really gelled together well to get to where we are right now.
Let's go back to Asher right here.
Dalvin, before the season started, did you set personal goals for yourself on what you wanted to accomplish this year? I know you were disappointed with no Heisman, but you had a couple 200-yard games. Is 2,000 yards something you thought about? And just kind of what was your initial thoughts entering this year for yourself?
No personal goal. I want a national title in the ACC championship. We got a returning group, confident group coming back next year. Like Coach said, we're gonna finish this year all strong. And you know, that's our goal. We're trying to win a national title in the ACC championship. So that's my goal right there. No personal goal.
Okay, right here in St. Paul.
It's Don Cole from the Florida Times Union. For Sean, Houston, this is a game that kind of a defining game, a lot like Central Florida 2 years ago against Baylor. Does the fact that Florida State plays this kind of game on such a routine basis, will that help you not get caught up in, you know, all the hype and everything, and will it help you not get caught, you know, flat-footed?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a wrong mindset to go into the game. Sorry, but I don't think our team has that at all. I mean, Houston is 11-1, and they played a tremendous season, and I think everybody on our team respects the heck out of them, and I think that going forward, our team has the right mindset, because I don't think you can get caught up in that, because that's the only way to look at a team.
Right here in front.
Gene Williams with Warchant.com again. This is for Coach Sanders and a 2-part question. We talked to Coach Fisher a couple months ago.
No, just remember, I'm a football coach now, so there's two-part questions. One part at a time.
We can do them one at a time.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we can do that. Coach Fisher told us earlier that this season he had delegated some of the play calling responsibility to you. And I guess, first of all, how did that come about? I mean, was that a preseason discussion that you guys figured out you'd do that, or how did that come about?
Well, it's something that he had mentioned to me actually in the off-season 2 years ago. We discussed it again last year during the off-season. And as the season was beginning, we discussed it. And he would always say, if I asked you to call it, would you be comfortable? Yeah. Well, he would call it, and that's kind of the way it went. And then during the course of the season, he called me in, went to his office one day, told me, he said, hey, you'd be comfortable calling this game this week? I'm like, Coach, I always try to get ready just in case. So I want you to take it and be ready to do it the rest of the year. And the kind of the way we've done it is, I'll call for a while. He may see something. He'll call plays. He may be calling a series or two. Then I'll say, Coach, how about such a thing? And so it's been kind of a cooperative effort along the way. And neither one of us have a big enough ego that we're worried about how it works out. We're just worried about winning and doing what's right. And I think so far it's worked out really well.
Well, that's the other part, as you mentioned the ego, because I know Coach Fisher loves to call plays and all that. So what does that say? Did he put that confidence in you to be able to take over some of that responsibility?
Well, it's a tremendous compliment, no question, that he has confidence, that he has the trust. It's something I've done quite a bit, so I'm very comfortable doing it. Obviously, he's done it for a long time in the same offense. So as I told him, Coach, I can do it, I'm comfortable with it, everything else. I said, but there's no question. Sometimes you see the adjustments in this offense quicker than I do because you've been doing it for 27 years, where I've been doing it for 3 now in exactly this offense. So I take it as a great compliment, but I also know that there's certain situations he's going to handle it better than others.
Okay, we got time for, I think, 2 more. We're going to go right back here.
LakeHurstSymbols.com again. For Dalvin and Sean, is there something that you guys have noticed throughout the season that showed you how the offensive line has grown and developed from start to finish?
Like Coach said, there was a bunch of guys playing this year. There was a lot of injuries and guys having to play different positions. So it's a set they've been having this year. I just want to take all the glory to them. And, the yards I ran for is all of them. And for them to grow as the season was going, they did that. And they took all the coaches from Coach Trickett, and everybody knows Coach Trickett is a hard coach. So all the coaches they took me in, they go to work every day. So I commend them for what they were doing. And they grow as the season was going.
Okay, and last question right here.
When I saw last night at Ebenezer Baptist Church, you were wearing a pullover that had the college football playoff logo on it. How much this week are you using last year's loss as motivation, if any?
Take every loss as a motivation. I just put last year in the past, and just use this year as motivation. It's another game play, another opportunity to go out and show what we can do. So that's my motivation, go out there and just show what we can do.